Bobby and James, thank you for gracing us. The Wits Business School welcomes you. And I hope you will have a highly engaging dialogue with our friends and colleagues this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Just again to officially introduce our panelists then this afternoon, Dr. James Motlatsi, former president of the National Union of Mine Workers. He serves now on the boards of Shanduka Group and Verimark Holdings. Again, a big round of applause for the birthday boy. Also with us then Mr. Bobby Godsell, Chairman of Business Leadership South Africa. A very big round of applause for Mr. Godsell.
Fellow citizens, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this public lecture on the citizen movement titled Promoting Good Values, Community Work. I also wish to extend our gratitude to the Wits University Business School and management for inviting Bobby and myself to be a voice that brings hope for the future in every active citizen's life. Lend me your ears here and now, because this lecture will equip and inspire all of us to become better citizens. Who and what is an active citizen? My own definition of active citizens is a natural person as opposed to juristic person who knows he or she needs other people to develop. The active citizen is one who knows that you can do a better job with other people's help than on your own, and he or she is always willing to assist others. Fellow South African, I am an active citizen. I challenge company owners to become active citizens, to employ at least 10 youngsters for a period of 12 months in training or probation in order for them to gain experience. I therefore urge and request all citizens who are here today to become compatriots of this movement in order for us to build a better society for all those who live in it. So join your local steering groups and become an active citizen and be a part of the creation of a legacy for future generations.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Mr. Bobby Godsell, a big round of applause for him.
So yes, you know, the phrase active citizens is important, but we're asking people in the first instance to sign up to a charter. We're trying to define what it means to be South African and a citizen after 1994. Firstly, I recognize the injustice of the past. So we've come from a horrible place. Apartheid was real and hugely damaging to the people who implemented it, to the groups who benefited from it, and to the groups who were destroyed by it. We honor those who suffer for justice and freedom. Important words. We respect those who build our country. We're not starting a political party here. We're acknowledging the right and duty of citizens to be active members of the political party of their choice. I rejoice in my own identity, rather important words, as constructed by me. You know, I choose my identity. Somebody doesn't impose it on me. I respect the identities of South Africans different from me. That's the next value. The diversity of peoples and culture is something that makes our country interesting and wonderful. So diversity isn't a threat. It's an incredible resource. It's what makes South Africa South Africa. The words are not enough. And that's why we say, if you're going to commit to this charter, we ask you to spend 4 hours a month. Nothing particularly brilliant about that. We thought 1 hour a week. South Africans are busy people. We all live, and just getting by is tough. But there's not one of us who can't find 1 hour a week to do something that gives a visible expression to the values I've been talking about. Something. And what that means is that you're living the values. And that means the values become real. And that means that you bump into other people who are living the values and you start to actually form a society based on shared values. And as James has pointed out, we've suggested the 5 areas: education, health, environment, youth and employment. We have to find a way for young people to become economic members of the South African community. We've got to let them into this club, or they will burn it down. I mean, we should know this. Okay, and it's something each of us can do. Each of us can help one young person get a work experience. It's not the critic who counts, says Roosevelt, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcoming, but who actually strives to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. I think it's a very stirring quote. And when I talk about the headspace, I mean, to be very blunt, because life is short, you know and I know that there are a bunch of white South Africans who simply haven't signed on to the new South African project. They're not sure that they're welcome here. They're not sure that they want to be here. They're not sure that their kids have a future here. Look at the Constitution, look at the values. Look at who you are. Come and join this movement, and come and link with your citizens, and you're going to find that South Africa does belong to all who live in it, and all who honor it, and all who build it. And that you can be the kind of citizen here that you couldn't be in Australia, for goodness sake. Okay. So that's one attack on a mindset. There's another mindset, very different, of black South Africans who continue to stay in a kind of victim identity. I mean, the nice thing about being a victim is that you don't have to do. You can criticize. You can say it's apartheid. You can say it's the whites. You can say it's the ANC. You can say it's a lot of things. But you're the victim. You're the person to whom things happen. You're not the person who makes things happen. Well, that's a denial of 1994. It's a denial of the struggle in the most fundamental sense, because the struggle was to take power for people to at least govern their own lives, their own communities, and to be indeed part of government through the choosing of government at all levels. If any of this has any appeal, please go to our website and look at the charter in full. The website is www, surprise, citizens.za.com. I think this could be one thing that starts to actually head the country back in a positive direction. Please come join us. Thanks very much.
If we are not active in our own political parties to make sure that we elect the right people in order to go and hold the right positions, we will be complaining forever and ever.
We've got a vision for the future. And what that gives you is sustainability. That's the other thing I would say. This is not a flash in the pan, It's nice to have a launch and it's nice to have an article in a newspaper. But this comes and goes. They say about newspaper articles is that they wrap yesterday's fish and chips. So we're looking for that qualitative change. The movement will succeed when it becomes more than the James and Bobby show. And when it's embraced by other people and they take charge.
It's a responsibility of all citizens to contribute their experience and knowledge to other citizens. So what we are doing, we are contributing to all South Africans our experience, knowledge, to make sure that all of us are going to take charge of our own lives. We are not forming the movement in order to be elected to positions. We don't want it to be employed by the movement. We have worked for ourselves. We are pensioners, and we would like to see youngsters running with this movement. What we are doing, we wanted to make sure that South Africa will we will create a better life for all. That's what we are all about.